Hello from the Philippines. My name is mannrentoy. I have been a teacher for the last 34 years, but in the last 11 years, I've been going around the Philippines, going around the world, reaching out to teachers, parents, community leaders, trying to champion character formation because it is, I see, one of the biggest crises that we need to address today, the character of the young generation. And today, the topic I have chosen to discuss with you is digital detoxification at home because we need real connections. We need this because we are dealing with a young generation, a new generation of young people who are so immersed in technology, whose digital lifestyle is like what defines them. It's like what eats up their time, their mindset. It's what forms their attitude, behavior, outlook in life. And this is the reason why, more than ever, we need now to help these young people deal with technology in the proper way. It is not enough to just have some rules at home about the use of technology. It is also important that we are able to help these young people be in control of technology and not the other way around. What I'm seeing many times in my college students and in my high school students is it looks like it's technology that is dictating them or that is controlling them. You will have a student who cannot be at peace until he is able to get the latest gadget, the latest upgrade to his tablet, to his cell phone. This is the kind of generation we're dealing with. Young people who are so immersed in technology. And if we don't watch out, then this lifestyle is what they're going to bring to their professional life later on. So, what I want to talk about today is how we can be in control of technology and not the other way around. First, let me make it very clear I am not anti technology. It's because of this technology that we are able to continue communicating and we are able to continue transmitting to you, wonderful parents, great ideas on homeschooling, great ideas that we can use in order to raise the young people to be good men and women. Not just smart, but especially good because of technology. Thanks to these gadgets that we now have easily accessible to us, we can continue learning and continue growing and continue getting strategies for effective parenting. I mentioned digital natives, digital generation, the wired generation. In fact, there's a book entitled The Rewired Brain because these young people today, this generation of young people today, it seems their brain has been rewired to be centered on technology, centered on gadgets, centered on internet life. There are many things that we are now seeing among the young people that were not there when we were younger. For example, one of the things that is very, very clearly very much a part of the mindset, the attitude, and the lifestyle of the young people today is taking selfies. You go to their Facebook account, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You cannot imagine why they have to post 100 pictures of their face, 100 photos of themselves in different outfits and different moods. Well, this is the selfie generation, the selfie addiction. There is that kind of mindset that tells them to let the world know how you look like, how you feel. In fact, if you go to Facebook, that's the first thing you're going to see what's on your mind. It encourages people to let the world know how do you feel, what's on your mind, what are you thinking about? And then some of us older people cannot appreciate this idea of going live in TikTok, in Instagram, in Twitter, in Facebook, and waiting for people to watch them, making comments, asking for shout outs or mentions or greetings. And you look at it, and sometimes you think, what's the point of that? Well, it's available for them. They use it, it's their way of expressing themselves. And then sometimes you have some young people now who start equating dignity, self worth to the numbers of followers and likes and hearts and comments that they receive. This is the kind of generation we're dealing with, where they live in an environment where the world is telling them, let the world know how you feel, let the world know how you look like. In fact, this is another thing that many of us older people find it hard to appreciate: young people taking a picture of themselves every day to let the world know their outfit of the day. That hashtag OOTD. I mean, what do I care about how you look? What do I care about what you're dressing or what you're wearing today? That is the kind of world that they're living in. All these are contributing to developing in them, in fact, this constant craving for connection. The fear of missing out is getting stronger and stronger among many young people. That one of the worst things in their mind is suddenly for the Wi Fi, the internet, to stop working. And then they are left out in the cold, disconnected, disjointed, and unable to reach out to other people and let the world know what they feel, what they think, what their opinion is. Constant craving for that connection. In most schools, they disallow the use of cell phone inside the classroom. They can bring their cell phone, but they are not allowed to use it while the teacher is lecturing or while there is someone reporting in front of the class. But I tell you, I have many students who can text without even looking at the screen. They are such experts in texting and maneuvering their cell phone that they can actually be composing a long message while looking at the teacher as if listening to the lecture, but half of their mind is really there in that texting. Something I notice also is many young people, more and more, would complain frequently of headaches or eye problems or dizziness. Well, of course, because if you are looking at that screen most of the time with your head bowed down like that, looking down at the screen, well, scientists will tell us, researchers will tell us that your neck bent down like that is like carrying 60 pounds of pressure on the neck. No wonder you will hear more and more of these young people complaining about dizziness, headache, pain in the neck, pain here and there. And then so many times that can also be connected to difficulty in sleeping, difficulty in being able to sleep right away when they get to bed. I think if this trend continues, we will also continue hearing more and more of complaints of these: dizziness, neck pain, stress, tiredness, headache. All these contribute to, I would say, the digital crisis or the crisis of the digital lifestyle that we are seeing among the young people today. Not to mention, of course, lack of physical activity compared to the kind of physical activity that we had when we were younger. When I was a kid, I would go out there in the street, run around with my friends, and climb trees and swim in the river. And you can have today a kid spending the whole day in front of the cell phone screen, computer screen, screen of the tablet, screen of the television. That's why researchers also tell us one of the things that's really greatly affected is the development of empathy. And it's true, because if this person has not been dealing with other human beings, then how do we expect him to develop empathy? If the whole day he is in front of the screen playing his video games, especially those games that the more you kill, the more points you get, the higher level you go in the game, then he can actually be spending his childhood most of the time in that virtual world without really dealing with other human beings. And there goes empathy. There's something else that I notice among these young people today, and that attitude or that behavior is also beginning to creep into us, the adults. Young people today don't seem to treasure the moment. They watch a concert, and what do? They are taking a video of the performance the whole time. Today, you have people going to concerts and they're taking videos because it's a moment for the phone. It's a foment, not a moment. And they get a bigger kick out of being able to post it and let the world know I was in the concert of Taylor Swift. I was in the concert of Ed Sheeran, and I was this close. And then they post it in Twitter, in Instagram, they post it in Facebook, and hundreds of likes and hearts and comments. And that's where they enjoy it more. When those comments, those likes start pouring in, because that was a foment. All these contribute to the crisis in character that I have personally been seeing inside the classroom among my students from grade 4 all the way to college. Young people who do not develop the virtue of patience, who do not get to have high level of empathy, who have a hard time focusing, concentrating, attention span that is so short because they're too used to the exciting editing of movies or video games where you have colors and lights and sounds and quick changes in the shots. And then probably also affecting comprehension and memory. In fact, I'm seeing more and more young people today who detest activities that will make them memorize things. You would have a young person saying, why do we need to memorize the capitals of the countries? I can Google that, and in 0.07 seconds, I can get the answer. Why do I need to memorize a preamble of the Constitution of the Philippines? I can Google that, and in a second or two, I have it there, the complete text. There is that kind of resistance towards activities like this. And all this because the brain has been fed with fast food. They are not used to the solid food that we used to feed the brain with: novels, short stories that are pages long, essays that they will need to understand, analyze. These are all contributing to the crisis. And then there's that need for instant response, immediate response, very closely related to the problem of instant gratification that characterizes the mindset of many, not all. I've met young people who have character, who are able to delay gratification, who have toughness, but generally, more and more young people we see today grapple with these problems and grapple with disorders, even brought about by the digital lifestyle that I have just described. So, I would like to give you a suggestion, and these are suggestions that will help us practice a bit of digital detoxification. Therefore, I would like to share with you some suggestions given by experts on how to go about practicing a bit of digital detoxification. And we can teach the young people this, but let's start with ourselves because While I was describing all along the digital natives, the digital generation, truth of the matter is many adults also do all the things that I have so far described. And so here are a few ideas on how we can practice digital detoxification. Number one, turn off notifications. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they should not be the ones telling you, hey, somebody liked your post, come back, log on, go to your Facebook, go to your Twitter. Hey, somebody shared your post, come back. Somebody liked your picture and you want to know which picture is that. And in the end, we start realizing, wait a minute, it's Facebook that is controlling me. Turn off notifications because we have to be in control of social media and not the other way around. Here's number two. You know, sometimes you see a post of a friend or a relative and you start feeling upset, angry, or you feel terrible. Well, here's what digital detoxification means: deleting those people or unfriending them or blocking them, because we have to find ways of removing any toxicity that comes our way. Delete or turn off. Or, in fact, Facebook gives us many options now. You can delete, you can hide, you can mute, you can block, you can take a break for a day, an hour, a week, or until you turn it back on. Unfollow, unfriend. There are many options, but we do not have to bear with a toxic posts or people or apps. Here's number three. Airplane mode is not just for the airplane. Airplane mode may be best especially for family time, dinner time, bonding time. I know, for example, more and more families making it as a house rule: no gadget during meals, no texting or calling during meals. Number four, as we need rest, our gadgets also do need rest. And so, if you have not made it a habit, for example, of telling yourself, no cell phone, no use of tablet, no logging on to social media for this number of days, number of hours, or a certain period of time, because we all need a bit of a rest. And then here's number five: to try to develop a certain laser focus attitude when we go online. Sometimes it has just become a habit. We go online without actually anything in particular that we want to do. Perhaps at the back of our mind, it's simply maybe I will check my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Maybe I will check my email. Maybe I will check the headlines of the day, but without really anything in particular that we want to do. Well, part of digital detoxification is, for example, on certain days or certain times of some days, we go to the internet, we go online with something very specific in mind, only when we have something very specific to do. I need to get the phone number of this company. With laser focus, we go Google it. Once we get it, out. Otherwise, what I've seen many people experience, they go to the internet thinking that they need to get the number of this company. But along the way, let me know the NBA results of yesterday's games. Oh, what's the headline of the day? Let me see. Did I receive an email? Is there something very important, a message that I received in FB Messenger? And before you know it, with that only one phone number that we wanted to get, a whole hour may have been lost. Digital detoxification means sometimes, every now and then, specific times of the day, specific days of the week, we tell ourselves, I will go online only if there is something very particular, very specific that I need to do or that I need to get. In fact, it's a very good question to ask ourselves very often. Will connecting at this moment really help me achieve my goals? And the number six, which is very much a part of the title of this presentation, more than ever, we need to deepen connections, real connections with the people around us. More and more, we have to be very conscious that we connect with the others to do conversations that we have always done before technology, before the internet, before Wi Fi. After all, the best things in life do not happen online. The best things in life, the best memories that we are able to store in our heart, in our mind, are things that happen in real life. Those conversations, those moments when we shared a lot of laughter, those times when we lived as a family, communicating, talking, connecting, sharing love, and forming everybody's character to do our example, to do our words, to do our timely advice that we are able to share with our children.